10 years ago, poker was everywhere. It was on all the TVs. You would go to your friend's house, it would be on their TVs. You would walk into a restaurant, it would be on the TVs there. ESPN had the World Series of Poker. It seemed like 24/7. And I know I certainly got caught up in it. Now, I played a lot with my friends. We played at my house, played at friends' houses, friends' parents' houses. And as I would play, I would learn certain things that worked and what didn't work. And I kept playing for years and years. Eventually I turned 21 and I was able to go into casinos, so a new environment for me. And I was able to play there. And I kept certain strategies that worked, and I got rid of the ones that didn't work. Because I wanted to keep what was good and what was successful for me. But I was constantly changing, and I was in new environments, I was growing, and I was developing. Cerner is also constantly changing. How we do things is growing and evolving and changing. In consulting especially, never stays the same. We pride ourselves because, as a company, we don't stay the same, and we're constantly evolving and changing to meet our customers and our clients' needs. So just like me in the poker game, as I grew older, I kept what worked, and I got rid of what didn't work. Cerner, in our consulting framework, has constantly been changing and adapting to what we found in our experiences, what has been successful, and we jettison what has not been successful. My name is Nick Mello, and I'm here to give you an overview on the consulting framework. Now you might be asking yourself, why are we here, Nick? Well, that's a valid question. You're here not only to get an understanding of our new framework, which I will be laying out in the next few minutes, but more importantly, you're here because as a consultant, you should be concerned with adding value for your clients. Now, how can you add value, you might be asking, with this new framework? When you go through and you understand the new framework, one, you become a leader in the new framework. Two, if you can speak to it, you are knowledgeable and you can add value. And three, you can educate others on the new framework and become a champion, become a spokesman for it. The more confident you are, and the more you show that it works, and the more comfortable you are, you'll be adding value to the clients. Eventually, once you start going through these new events on your own, you will realize too how much value we have found in this new framework, which will then be transferred to your clients. I'm very excited to get started. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do a brief run through of some of the new events in our new consulting framework process. So to start, we have Project Kickoff. This is typically a one-week event held in Kansas City for the entire project team. Part of it is going to include CPI Lean, which is process improvement training, and another part will be sort of what you're getting now, but a more expanded session on the new framework. You'll also be meeting your project leadership team and going over the general plan for the project. After that, we will have Current State Review. Current State Review, your team, DCs and SAs, will be going on site, and any strategists as well, will be going on site to the client site for about a 1 to 2 week period, depending on what's in scope on your project. And they will be reviewing the current workflows, current hardwares, current technologies, key leadership. What are they doing now? And I talked about value earlier. You're also going to be looking for places that you can add value, where Cerner can come in and add value. You'll come back to Kansas City for Current State Review Debrief, CSR Debrief, Current State Review Debrief. Typically a one-week event, again in Kansas City. This is where your whole team will get together after a little bit of time and kind of discuss what they saw. You'll get to work on some integrated workflows and really bring those ideas of, hey, where can we add value, and bring those ideas together. Your next event Future State Review Dry Run, or FSR Dry Run. In this event, you'll be taking these ideas, especially from your current state events, and you'll be thinking ahead to your future state review event. Now in the dry run though, specifically, this will basically be a mock presentation, again in Kansas City. This is an internal only. You'll be giving a mock presentation, a dry run, of what you will be giving for when the client comes to Kansas City. In your dry run, you'll be going through our Cerner system on one monitor screen, parallel to their current workflows, their current system. And you'll be able to, in the room, in front of the client, demonstrate the value and where we're going down the road, that future and future state. This is just a practice session before the future state review event, which is next. So you'll practice here for your main future state review event. This is in Kansas City. The client will be coming down for it. You practiced here in the future state review, but in the dry run, but in the future state review, the client will actually be in the room, and you will go through again, like I described, where their current system and the Cerner system, basically leading them to the ideas of where we're going to go from here, and kind of show them where they are now, what we're going to do for them, or what we can do for them, that value that I was talking about. About 2 months goes by after that event, where building continues in the system, until eventually you have about 90% of the build complete. The client comes back to Kansas City for future state validation, or FSV. So that's your next event. This is also the whole team participating, your solution teams. Here, similar to future state review, you will be demoing or demonstrating, but for future state validation, you'll be showing them what you have built so far. Again, it's about 90% of the build has been complete. So we go from future state review, showing what is possible, where we're going, to where we're at, and what we have for them. Really showing them, especially in our validation, that value that we thought we could achieve, here's where we're going to show it to them. About a month after that, we have maintenance training. Now this is actually going to be on the client site, and our team, a smaller team, will go to the site, and we will be working with their local IT support to train them how to use our Cerner system, their localized system, once we have departed after conversion, so how to maintain and upkeep the system. Following that, your next event is integration testing 1 and 2. 1 and 2 meaning that it's 2 weeks typically. It can be longer. You could have 3 weeks of integration testing. Now in integration testing, this is also on the client site. Your team will go out and you will, prior to this, you'll have identified test scripts that will be used, in which you basically run through a day in the life sort of scenario for a patient or whatever unit in the hospital, and you will actually test certain steps in that within the Cerner system in this script. And just kind of hit all your points and make sure the integration is functioning as it should. Your next event, and the one everyone is most excited for, is Go Live. I'm sure you've all certainly heard about Go Live. Maybe some of you have even participated in. Go Live, or conversion, is when the client actually hits the switch, so to speak, and turns on their new system. They go live in the production environment. So all the build is complete. Everything is leading up in our framework to our conversion event. You might be asking, well, this is great. Why are we doing this? Is there any benefit to this? Yes, there are. In fact, we have shown in studies that we've collected and surveys we've collected from our clients, either at events or on the client site, we used to have a client satisfaction score on average of about 60%. Not bad. Not very good though either. In about a year and a half of doing our new framework, we've noticed our scores have jumped to about 85% client satisfaction, which is great. internal Cerner associate surveys, and we do those. Some of you have participated in those. I've also shown our results. We used to be sitting around 3 out of 5. Again, not bad. We're now sitting around an average of 4.5 out of 5% satisfaction scores, and that's from you guys. So it does work. The scores have shown that. I'm going to hand out a card here. I want you to think of that card. I want you to think about one of these events here. I'll hand you a card as well, and you can have a card as well. I want you all to take your card, picture one of these events here. So here's our consulting framework. You all have one. Touch it, I want you to think of it. It can be any one or even all of them. Now when it comes to the consulting framework, we have our new model here. But there's one thing missing, and that's all of you. So I want you to go ahead. Thank you. So once we have that last piece in our framework, in our model, now we're playing with a stack deck. So, what do you think?
I'm not too sure about it. It just seems like it's a lot of work.
Bethany, right?
Yes.
Bethany, let me ask you. It sounds like you're saying that it's a little complicated. Could you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, it just seems kind of complicated. Like there's too many steps and it would be too hard to learn.
I completely understand what you're saying. May I ask you a question? Did you ever learn how to ride a bicycle?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to guess that you're probably a little bit younger than you are now. Bethany, did it seem like a complicated process at the time to learn?
Yeah.
There were a lot of steps, right? The pedaling, keeping your balance, not falling over. I'm sure it probably seemed like a daunting task.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely understand. Let me ask you another question, Beth. Did you eventually learn how to ride that bicycle?
I did.
You did. And do you have any problems with that to this day?
No.
I'm going to guess that you can go out there right now and you can ride a bike, no problems at all. You don't even think about it anymore. It's second nature to you.
Yeah.
Beth, this is going to be the same thing here. It might seem like a lot of events, but once you go through it once you practice it, once you speak about it to others, it's going to become second nature to you. You're not even going to think about it anymore.
Okay.
Anyone else? Any questions? Anything else I can explain? All right, well, thank you all very much. I appreciate it.